Hey there, I'm Natalie and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Tally Core, a place all dedicated to realigning to the centre view for the movement of Barre and Pilates. Today's session is a Pilates session all centred around working your core, so we're going to be thinking about working your back body, your abdominals, as well as your pelvis here. We're starting by laying down onto your back, so when you're good to go, come to lay down onto your mat. As you come to lay down onto your back, you want your feet to be hip distance and parallel with your heels just close enough to you that you can take your heels with your fingers, arms down beside you or hands to rib cage to start with some breath. So when you're ready, close up the eyes and let's connect to lateral breathing. First starting by inhaling in through nose, exhaling out through mouth to release. Thinking about the lateral breathing as you inhale, wide expansion of the ribs. Exhale, ribs close back in towards one another. Allow that to be your main breath throughout the whole class where possible. If the eyes are closed, start to flick open the eyes, moving into some pelvic tilts. On your inhales, your tailbone drop down into your mat. You want to create that arch, that gap between the lower back and the mat. As you exhale, imprint your back down, keep it back down, just slightly tucking the tailbone for a little bit of a round in there. Working between those two pelvic movements. Inhale, tailbone down, the lower back starts to arch into that anterior pelvic tilt. As you exhale, imprint the back down, tucking the tailbone, moving into that slight round in that posterior pelvic tilt. And proceeding to go between those two pelvic movements. So already targeting your pelvis part of your core, rocking back and forth there, bringing that gentle movement into your back, finding that connection to the pelvis. Nice. We want to progress this into the pelvic curl. So take one more inhale for the tailbone to go down and low back to lift into an arch. A final exhale for the low back to press down the tailbone to tuck. Then come back to the halfway point in between both positions. Into the pelvic curl. Take a deep inhale in to prepare. Now as you exhale, draw the belly button down first. Think about that contraction as you start to curl up. So curling up from your pelvis, your low back, your mid back. Hold here at your top range. Inhale, pause in stillness. Exhale, peel down from your mid back, low back, pelvis comes down last. Inhale to pause at the bottom. And you keep working with that breath. So as you exhale, navel down to spine, you then curl up from pelvis. The low back lifts, the mid back comes up into that pelvic curl, round in the spine. Inhale, pause. Exhale to peel down from mid back, low back, pelvis comes down last. So keep working between those breaths and movements in the flow. Now, when we're pelvic curling, it looks like a bridge, it presents like a bridge. I always say it's not a bridge from yoga. So where in yoga we like to arch the back in our bridges, in Pilates we're trying to find more of the rounding, so we're exaggerating more of that posterior pelvic tilt. Then for the next time you come up, I want you to stay up here, just hold your position. Now if you're lifting your chest quite high, lower the chest down. Scoop out your abdominals. Note I say draw navel down to spine first before you lift, so you should be containing that the whole time. And think about the glutes lifting as you're rounding the back here. Take an inhale in here. Exhale, then melt down, mid back, low back, pelvis comes down last. We do two more like this. Inhale. Exhale, the navel starts to draw down first. Now hold that drawing down as you lift your pelvis, your low back, your mid back. Keep the shoulders and the arms, palms down, feet grounded. Inhale, pause. Exhale, melt down. Think about the sequential movement, melting down here. And then coming back to that neutral position. We hold the next one. So inhale in here. Exhale, think about the low back imprinting, the navel is drawing down and you're rounding to come up. And this time we stay lifted for your shoulder bridge prep. Now as you keep the core engaged, so we're still rounding back, we're keeping that core engagement. We need to float your right leg up into a tabletop. Knee in line, hip heel in line with knee. And really think about keeping the hips nice and level here so both hips are the same height. From here, keep the 90-degree bend in the knee, or you want want you to do is inhale to tap your toes down towards the ground, exhale to lift up. Inhale to tap, exhale to lift. So we're really trying to keep that lumbar pelvic stabilization, so really stabilizing the pelvis here. We're moving in the hip joints, so working at hip disassociation, and really thinking about keeping that core strong as a whole, so you're less likely to collapse into position. Let's do 3 more. So inhale, tap, exhale, lift, inhale, tap, exhale, lift, 1 more, tap, and then lift. Then from here, let your right toes peel down to the ground. Just take a moment to realign your hips. Find that rounding of the back once more, the contraction of the abdominals. Hands pressed down, shoulders down, feet grounded, and then lift your left leg up into your tabletop. So you should really be feeling it in the glutes here. We're now going to target that right glute. So inhale to tap, exhale to lift. And again, making sure you're moving in the hip joint here. So the knee stays at 90-degree bend the whole time, and the hips also stay nice and level. So we need to think about that strong back and that strong core as a whole to keep you in this position. Let's go for another 3 more. Inhale to tap, exhale to lift. 2 more, tap, and lift. Last one, tap, and lift. And let the left toes come down. Just find that stillness once more. So think about being in that pelvic curve again, the abs still drawing down, you're round in the back, palms and shoulders pressed down, feet are grounded. And just holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale here. Exhale, peel down from your mid-back, low back, and your pelvis comes down last. Nicely done. So from here, we want to move into your hundreds prep. Reach the arms behind you so your arms are floating off the ground, not touching the ground. Make sure your low back stays in a neutral position. So if you put the arms down, your back is arched unnecessarily. Find a neutral position, keep your arms hovering off the ground. Lift your right leg into tabletop, left leg into tabletop, glue the legs together. Take an inhale in here. As you exhale, think belly button draws down first, lift head and chest. The arms come down to float off the ground. And then inhale, move the arms initially first, and release your head and chest down so the arms again are floating off the ground on the other side. So as you exhale, navel down to spine. As the arms move, you then start to lift the head and chest. Arms are hovering. Inhale, move the arms first. Release the head and chest to come down. In both directions, your arms move first initially. So let the arms guide you into and out of the movement with that control. And that control is coming from your center. So really thinking once more about using your core strength here. Nice. So let's keep this going a few more times. And you're really going to draw down to find that lift. Now when you are lifting, take your gaze to your knees or thighs, just so we're not holding tension in the neck. By keeping the gaze lifting up to the ceiling, you're more likely to keep tension in the neck, so let your gaze lower down to your knees or thighs each time you lift. Let's do 2 more. So exhale, arms move, navel draws down, head and chest lifts up. Inhale, arms move, and you're releasing back down. We want to stay lifted that next one. So exhale, arms move, lift the head and chest up. Now once you're lifted, we change into your single leg stretch. So you want to take your hands around your right shin and have your left leg nice extended. Now, when you take your hands around the left shin, it's not actually an interlace, it's just, let's go one hand on top of the other like this, not stacked on top, so like have your pinky finger against your index finger on the other hand, that makes sense. And check your heel height. The heel of the bent knee should be the same height as the heel of the straight leg, okay? And then we're changing from here. So inhale, exhale, change. Inhale, exhale, change. Now we're keeping that lift of our head and chest, and that lift has come from our center. So we're still thinking about drawing the navel down, keeping the low back now pressed into the mat as you work the alternating in your single leg stretch here. Nice. So keep this going, nice and controlled in the movement. Good. Just number 5, 4, 3, 2, Finish with the left knee coming into to balance out both sides, hopefully there. Now from here, let's bend both knees and keep the feet together, knees together, for your double leg stretch. Now if you've got room to do the full circle of the arms, you want to inhale, legs straight, arms straight, exhale, bring it in, so breath is changing. Re-inhale, exhale. I always say if you haven't got room for arms to circle, you can do arms back and forth, but like it's one modification, or just have your hands behind your head if you need to modify in general for any reason as well, okay? So we exhale, we bend and close, we inhale, we extend. You should really feel this quite a lot in the abdominals now, so target a little more of your transverse abdominis, that deep layer of your core. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, bring the knees back in a 1. Are you ready for the hundreds? At least 50, you've got the 400 here. Okay, so from here, let your head release down. As your head releases down, take a deep inhale in. Exhale, the head lift back up, navel down to your spine. Now you can have your knees in tabletop, or you can go with straight legs on diagonal. Pulse the arms up and down. You inhale, 3, 4, 5, exhale. 3, 4, 5, inhale. 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 3, 4, 5, exhale. 3, 4, 5, and have a little pause. If you need to modify at this point, you can always have the knees bent, you can always have the head down. You can have head down, legs straight, head up, knees bent, or the full version that I'm trying to demonstrate for you. We have 50 more to go. So pick your head position, pick your leg position, and start to go again. You inhale, 3, 4, 5, exhale. 3, 4, 5, inhale. 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 3, 4, 5, exhale. 3, 4, 5, and hold. Bend the knees, the legs are straight. Release the head down. Hug knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. Give yourself a nice little internal well done. That should have been about 100 of your hundreds. And then once you had a little rock from side to side, we'll stay laying down for the next exercise here. So again, we're still targeting the core, but again for a bit more kind of rotational based work now. So let the arms come down beside you, your palms are nice and flat. Extend your legs up to ceiling for your corkscrew. Now from here, you want to think like you're doing what you are. You're doing a semicircle, but the curve of the circle is at the bottom and the straight line is going through the centre where your legs are starting. So as you inhale, draw a straight line to your right hand side. Now exhale, let the legs come down, over to the left to create the semicircle, and then back through centre to finish off the line you started. Then we go the other way, so inhale to your left, exhale, circle around and down, over to your right, and then back through centre. So keep going, alternating direction each time. You inhale, draw a line one way, exhale, circle and down, and then bring it back through centre to finish line. Then inhale, go the other way, circle around and down, and then bring it back to finish the other way. So keep cueing yourself for this movement. Keep your lumbar spine, your low back connected to the actual mat. So where you might feel inclined to take the legs down low, resist the urge to do that. Keep the back down on that mat. So just make your range make sense to doing the correct movement. We're getting a bit of rotation here, but the range of movement of the circle, the semicircle itself is not important. It's keeping that connection of your lower back on the mat, so working a bit more of your lumbar pelvic stabilisation as well here. Good, so I want you to do just a few more. Keep the hands bending, the shoulders down. Again, keep that range under control. So you're going to do your last one, taking a line initially over to the left-hand side. So when you start your line going to the left, for the final time, that should be your last corkscrew from there. Then from there, bring your knees into your chest, slide your right leg nice and long, slide your left leg nice and long. Okay, so we're thinking about going into the roll up, but a small, like not a full roll up to begin with, a very small range of a roll up here, and I'm going to demonstrate and explain. So your arms come behind you, so in line with your ears, arms are hovering off the ground, palms face in towards one another here. Inhale, let the arms come down to your thighs as you lift your head and chest. Exhale, just come up a little bit, that's all. Inhale, release back down, keep your chest lifted, and then release the arms down from when you started. Okay, so think, inhale, arms to the thighs, lift head and chest, so it's exhale, bring arms to the head and chest. Inhale, lift up a little bit. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, release your arms. Apologize, I got a breathing one for you the first time. So it's exhale, arms come to your thighs, lift the head and chest. Inhale, come up a little bit and pause. Exhale, release down, let your arms come back down. So for today, that's the modification that I'm giving you, which is to only come up a little bit. So you're doing the same breath and kind of the same initial movement. If you're joining me in the full version, let's go from here. So inhale, into prayer. Exhale, bring your arms to your thighs, lift the head and chest. Inhale, pause in that chest lift. Now exhale, we're coming to find that C curve. So as you reach your arms forwards, draw the abdominals back and find that capital C shape. Lift into it as you round. Inhale, pause here. Exhale, start to round yourself back. Inhale, pause in that chest lift position, and exhale, release the head down, the arms come to hover off the ground here. So we exhale, bring the arms to thighs, we lift the head and chest, we inhale, pause. We exhale, we start to find that capital C, so reaching arms forward, scooping at the abdominals. Inhale to pause here. Exhale, start to round it back. Inhale with the chest lift, hold here. Exhale, release down. So keep this going. As you keep this going, regardless of the option you're doing, I'm just going to let you know that at the moment we are coming all the way up to seated. So if you're doing that first variation and you can't actually come all the way up, if you really struggle to come all the way up, it's absolutely fine. The next time you come to lay fully on your mat, just kind of hug knees into your chest and roll onto one side. And as we're coming all the way up and we're staying lifted in this last one, then we bring it back in from here. So we want to now move it into some spinal articulation. So come to sit a little bit more towards the front of your mat, so you've got room to roll back, if you roll like a ball. So you want to bring yourself into what's like a tight little ball here. Keep your legs grouped together. Take the palms of your hands flat onto your shins. You want them to come into tippy toes of your toes. Let the toes come off the ground, just find that balancing point. So have your elbows nice and wide here, and the chest is lifted at this point. Squeeze the legs together. Now as you inhale, you want to round back and roll back, and exhale, come up, find that balancing point. It might take you a few rounds, but I'm going to do about 4 of these in total. I'm going to try and progress in a moment. So inhale, round back, keep a tight ball, exhale, come up, find that balancing point. 2 more if you can. So inhale, round back, and come up. And then the last one for now. Inhale, round back, and then come up. Just take a moment to rest. I'm going to attempt to demonstrate, and you might want to try the open leg rocker. I'm not the strongest at it, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. So the open leg rocker is the same kind of principle with the rounding back and up. It's just a harder position to do it from. So if you're like, no, it's not for me, then do 2 more of it, which is like a ball, okay? If you're looking to join me in the open leg rocker and you want to give it a go, or you know you're already quite good at it and you want to do it and put it in, we want to bring our legs into a V shape and find that balancing point from here. If you've got quite tight hamstrings, you can have a soft bend in the knees, that's absolutely fine. Think shoulders joined down. It's the same principle in terms of the rolling element. So you want to inhale, round the back, come back, exhale, come up, and find your balancing point from there, as I didn't so beautifully do just then, but I'm trying my best for you. I'm going to try 2 more of these, and I'm probably not going to talk as much, but it's inhale to round back, exhale to come up. So in your own time, you would do the open leg rocker, or you can do the roller ball, okay? So inhale, rounding back, exhale, to find that balancing point. And one last one, round your back, and bring it back up from here, trying to show some conviction, and then cross the legs over So from here, come to lay on your left hand side, your left hand down. Now your top leg, your right leg, you need to bring that foot forwards. Your underneath leg, your left foot needs to be back. So top foot forwards, bottom leg back. Now your top heel needs to hook back into the front of your back heel. So this left heel needs to come into the front of your right foot. Now I always like to just start with an element of finding a side plank first, just so you're not so tight in the movement initially. So find your side plank, you need to shimmy your feet a little bit further away, then that's absolutely fine. Now if you've ever done the side bend, your twist starts in a side bend and then goes into what looks like an almost twisted downward facing dog, is the best way I can explain it, but of course I will show it to you. Having your right arm down beside you, we go into the side plank first. So we want to inhale up into the side plank position. Now instead of doing a side bend here, as we exhale, we're going to lift the hips up, we're going to downward facing dog almost, and then take the hand inwards into that rotation. We inhale, come back to the side plank, that top arm is facing away by the way, and we exhale, we hover the hips off the ground. Let's do 3 more like this. So we want to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and come all the way down on the exhale. From here, before we do the other side, straight into your leg pull front. So find yourself into an all fours position. Come quite close to the front of your mat initially. Hands under shoulders, fingers nice and widely spread. And then step your feet back into a plank position for your leg pull front. Just the right leg only, so let your right toes point. Exhale, lift the leg up, inhale, lower down. So finding that strength in your core. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. If you need to have the bottom knee down to one of the that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, keep left knee lifted. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, release that right down the last one, and then we change sides. So release left toes out behind you. Again, lower the right knee if you need to, otherwise keep it lifted. Exhale, lift the left leg up, inhale to lower. So we're keeping that solid plank, lifting the belly button up towards the ceiling to maintain our core strength in our plank position here. Just another 5, 4, 3, 2, and release on 1. Release knees down fully and come into your rest position. Sit back to your heels as you rest into your thighs, your arms are nice and long. And take a breath here. And we want to go back to your twist. So now finding ourselves coming onto the right hand, being down onto the mat. Now again, you want to have your top leg foot coming forwards and the underneath foot is going back behind it, and that left heel is going to hook into the front of the right foot there. Just take a moment to find your side plank in case you need to shimmy your feet a little bit further away. And then we go into your twist, okay? So we start as we inhale into side plank, that top palm, left palm faces away from you. As you exhale, you're twisting into what looks almost like a twisted downward facing dog. Inhale, come back to the side plank. Exhale to hold the hips off the ground. 3 more. So we inhale, we exhale, we inhale, and we exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's get a nice rotation in there. Last one. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and then come all the way back down to the ground. Let's just take a nice lateral stretch there. So let your right leg come forward, your left leg come back, bring your left hand down, right hand up and over into that stretch on the side. Change legs over. So bring your left leg forwards, right leg behind, right hand comes down, left hand up and over into that side stretch. And then we'll just finish with a nice little back extension here. So come to lay onto your front. Your feet are slightly separated. Palms come into your thighs. You want to keep your feet grounded. Press the pelvis down into the mat. Aim to lift your belly button off the mat and keep your gaze down to the ground. Inhale, find the length for the spine as you lift up from the thoracic release down. So inhale, lengthen, lift up from the thoracic spine, exhale, release down. So I'm saying lift from the thoracic, so you're not going into a back bend. Back bend would be more of a lumbar spine lift. We're trying to think more of an upper back lift. We're prioritising the extension, so working with the erector spinae here, finding length for your back as you inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Just remember 3, 2, and release down on 1. Bring the hands beside you, come up onto your knees, push back to your thighs, find length once more for the spine, some stretch here in your rest. Take a moment to connect back to the breath if you've lost it. Walk the hands back in towards you, index fingers behind you, press your palms together, lift your arms up away from your back. Release hands beside you, reach your arms up, let the palms go above your head. Index fingers press the palms away from you out towards the ceiling. Let your arms reach out to sides, around and down. That is the end of your class today. So as always, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you had a little bit of fun. If you love the class, please give it a thumbs up. Do ensure you're subscribing to the channel so you get notified each time I upload a new video by hitting that bell right now. And until next time, have a fantastic day and I'll see you again here real soon. Take care. Bye.